Hello, Greg Goodman here with episode 220 of Southern Gospel Now. This week I'm reporting from the National Quartet Convention in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Southern Gospel Now is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern Gospel CDs, USBs, soundtracks, and Christian products. You can use coupon code LISTEN at Daywind.com. Karen, Peck, and New River have been here all week. Grant Gibson reflects back on his first time on the NQC stage.
I've been doing this really since I was 18 years old. And it's so easy, especially, we're here at NQC, and it's so easy to compare yourself to other people. I remember the first year that I was here, I was so incredibly nervous. And, there's great artists after great artists. I think one of the best pieces of advice I could give anybody that wants to sing, and especially at this level, what we're doing here at NQC, is just be the best you that you can be. God created you to be you, and no one else in this building can do exactly what you do. And honestly, man, that's the advice I've kind of given myself and I've lived by, and it's worked.
I think that's great advice for all of us, regardless of our occupation. NQC is just one of the events that has been keeping Jim and Melissa Brady busy. Jim says he's grateful for a full schedule.
Melissa and I have been so busy on the road, and I always say I'd rather be busy than bored, and I am not bored, that's for sure. I was talking to some friends the other day, and they said, "No, really, how you doing?" I said, "I am wonderfully wore out, but I will not complain because I'm so grateful for the privilege that we have to share the message of Jesus and the message of hope to a world who needs it more than ever before, and it's a great privilege." We just came back from the Gaither Homecoming Farewell Alaska Cruise, and that was just amazing. To see the beauty of God's creation was just indescribable. And then the music was just heavenly. I got to tell you, those of you who know Bill Gaither know he is a master at putting together some of the best programs ever. It's been a busy year already, and it's not slowing down, but we're absolutely grateful for every open door God brings our way.
One of the new events at NQC this year is Mornings with Michael Booth and Friends. Michael plays host each morning at the LeConte Center, presenting a handful of groups that aren't appearing during the evening concerts. Michael is known for his sense of humor. He calls it an acquired skill.
Before I was a teenager, I was shy, very shy. It was in junior high school, because I was having such a hard time with school. I found out later I have some dyslexic issues. Well, I didn't know it, and I was in the remedial classes, and the kids picked on me horribly. But I figured out I could make them laugh. In junior high and high school, kids are pretty cruel. But when I made them laugh, I could distract them from feeling stupid as they would pick on me. And the old all things work together for good. Now it's part of the skill set that I use to communicate the gospel.
Kim Hopper has been a fan favorite, going all the way back to her family group, the Greens. She shares some special NQC memories from through the years.
The first one I remember was our first year to sing on the convention, and I was probably 16. And, back then we wore the long dresses and all that, so we were getting ready, we were stepping up the stage to go on, and Tony stepped on my dress and ripped it, and I went on stage just bawling my eyes out. So it's been little things like that, but I remember the years, when Dean and I were engaged, and people coming up every night, okay, who's leaving who? What are you leaving your family, or is he leaving his? And then just the wonderful years of when I was real young and sitting out in the audience, and we sang, but we weren't known at all, and I was sitting out in the audience when the award show was on, and Miss Vestal was given an award, and then Miss Connie was given an award one year before I ever joined them, and Dean and I were even a thing at that point, and Miss Connie was given Queen of Gospel Music, and I would just sit there and cry because I just loved her so much, and now to think, she's my mother-in-law. So there's just, everybody's grown up at the convention every year. We just see kids growing up. Our kids have grown up in this, and it's a homecoming for all of us, so every year's got something special.
So many family groups now have a second or third generation that grew up coming to the convention and now are performing on the main stage. Susan Wisnet shares from a mother's heart about her sons, Austin and Ethan Wisnet.
It is amazing every night when I look beside me and see Ethan and turn behind me and see Austin playing that bass. We never wanted to be a family group that was going to leave our kids at home. We just were not going to do it. And so I knew the minute they could talk, I was going to put a mic in their hand and they'd sing one song a night. If that was it, that'd be okay with me. But I wanted them to be a part of our ministry. And in the back of this mama's mind, I thought, when they turn 18, they may want to go a different direction. I pray not, but they may. And Austin has been on stage since he was 14 years old with us, playing bass guitar and now acoustic. Ethan started singing, I think, in 2020. And so it is amazing to me to watch our kids enjoy what we've worked hard to start, and now they're being able to be a part of it. And it makes me love it more.
Everyone goes to NQC to enjoy the music, but there are some special folks who keep the program moving, as well as adding excitement, depth, and context to what's going on from the main stage. These are the MCs. Josh Franks has served in this role for many years at the National Quartet Convention.
I remember as a young boy sitting in the crowds and watching many of my mentors and heroes, such as Dr. Jerry Goff and many others, as they would introduce those groups and invite them onto the stages to sing and share their talents. And those MCs would get you prepared and ready even before the artist climbed on that stage to share. And so to be able to be a part of that today is just an absolutely desire of my heart from a little boy.
The MCs for this year's event are Josh Franks, Bill Bailey, and Dwayne Guerin. One of the showcases this week was a tribute to Dottie Rambo, which included performances from many Daywind Records artists. Dusty Wells, director of A&R for Daywind, told us about meeting the legendary Dottie Rambo and how it changed his life.
I never wrote him a fan letter. I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho. Never visited Nashville, but I went to a concert in Portland, Oregon of the Rambos. Met her, walked up to her, and said, a 22-year-old kid walked up to her at the record table. No one was around her, which was a packed-out concert. God knows what he's doing. And I said, Miss Rambo, I love your music. I was 14 years old and got saved and been listening to your music ever since then. And she said, well, thank you, darling. And I said, and one of these days I'm going to work for you. And she turned to Reba and she said, Reba, do you remember this when I pointed that young man sitting on the front row? She said, I said, he's supposed to be involved with our ministry. We developed a friendship that night. She gave me her home phone. We didn't have cell phones back then. She gave me her home phone. We would call. We'd talk to each other. And I spent about 20 years working for them.
There will be a forthcoming project celebrating the songs of Dottie Rambo. Time for a look at the top songs of the week from the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
Homeward Bound, Legacy 5.
There's a heavenly book where my name's written down, and now I am homeward bound.
Number 4.
Trouble, the Lefevre Quartet featuring Joseph Habedank.
Let not your heart be troubled.
Number 3.
So Many Reasons, Tribute Quartet.
I've got so many reasons to pray.
Number 2.
Up Above the World So High, The Inspirations.
Up above the world so high.
Number 1.
Deep Waters, Triumphant Quartet.
When you go through deep waters, you never go alone.
Congratulations to Triumphant Quartet for capturing the top spot this week. I hope you enjoyed our NQC coverage. Our program is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern Gospel CDs, USB, soundtracks, and Christian products. I'm Greg Goodman. Do no harm and love your neighbor. I'll see you next time on Southern Gospel Now.